In this episode, we're going to see how trivial equipment such as gloves, safety goggles and hearing protectors will keep you and your employees safe.
And if you are working at home or in the office, be ready for some exercise. Don't forget to subscribe and let's go! Occupational health and safety rules apply to all situations in which special care must be taken when performing certain activities. These may include work at heights or maintenance of electrical system, drilling a small hole in a wall at home, or working for hours in front of the computer.
Do you remember the episode of backhoe drill drivers?
Of course, I've been there.
Well, sometimes even an expert may make a mistake, like me wearing gloves and operating a driver. And this is what we are going to talk about today: protective clothing. Protective clothing is any clothing especially designed, treated or fabricated to protect you from a dangerous environment. The most obvious solution is
An energy shield.
or clothing in bright warning colors such as a vest or a jacket.
You know, one of the situations that I don't like is putting this vest on top of something else like a coat. Just don't feel comfortable.
Well, in this case, you have the fluorescent fleece with sewn-in reflective stripes. It will keep you warm and the outfit close to the body.
In my case, my body is getting closer to the outfit, especially after Christmas or holidays. And look at those socks I got from TME for Christmas.
Yeah, and this brings us to the next basic element of work clothing footwear. Here we have Delta Plus shoes. Their sole is designed not only to prevent the accumulation of static electricity, but also to provide the wearer with a good surface grip. The material of the footwear itself is reinforced to make it difficult to puncture.
The leg protection would not be complete without tall Wellingtons if you are working in fields, or knee pads if you are working in kneeling position. Does it comply with EN 14404 standard? Yes, it does. And it's not just for some pads to protect you from falling.
Yeah, Alex, we can see that you can fall much more than you can ride.
Well, you must see my helmet.
As you can see, helmets are not only used for sports or on construction sites. They have been an indispensable attribute for electricians and electromechanics for decades. In most cases, we will find at least one of the following standards: EN 397 helmets for industrial use and EN 50365 electrically insulated helmets for use at low voltages installations, which also comply with EN 397.
The 3M helmets available at TME are typical workwear for construction sites, warehouses or factories. The Diamond V-Up series helmets by Delta Plus, on the other hand, are also resistant to side deformation and provide isolation against voltages up to 1 kV. And I'm glad that I don't have 1 kV in my house and I don't need a special EN 50365 helmet to change a light bulb.
Oh, maybe not a helmet, but you should consider eye protection. A lot of people get injured at home doing, let's call them, ordinary tasks. They forget about the cornea of the human eye. This is one of the most delicate and most innervated tissues in the human body. It can be painfully damaged even by small objects. Mining or metallurgical industry are obviously very risky. However, it is also worth considering eye protection for gardening work, chopping woods, renovation or car repairs.
The special glasses are usually characterized by reinforced design and impact resistance, as well as a UV filter. Alternatively, they may also be dimmed, which will be very appreciated by those who are working in full sun.
Alright, but I think there is a better solution than special glasses.
Better than that?
Goggles! Come on, those glasses will not protect you from airborne splinters or sawdust. They hug the face and they look so cool, and actually it's like I'm going to ski.
Well, let me know when you're going to ski next time.
Why?
Because you are a hazard. You need to notify people when you're coming.
And how should I do that?
With proper labeling, tapes and signs. Proper workplace labeling prevents many potential fatal situations. TME offers a range of basic labeling essential for any company and many households. Those include prohibitory, mandatory and informative labels. They are made of durable materials that are resistant to trampling, as they are mostly applied on the floor, or you can identify danger zones with them.
Alright, but do you really think that this tape will prevent someone stupid from entering the restricted area? Or actually, it will stop them from turning on the lights when you are still changing the bulb?
I know, that can be a real challenge.
Yeah. In case where a simple tape won't work, you can use the proven and universal solutions by Pandit. These are various types of locking devices, usually secured with one or more padlocks, and make sure that only the authorized person has access to it. These lockouts can be used both in the workplace and at home as a protection against opening a valve or switching on the power supply by your child. Or you.
That's it. I invite you to a duel.
If I were you, I wouldn't be throwing gloves so easily.
Fine. For understandable reasons, hand protection is strictly regulated by OHS regulations. General European standards and local authorities determine which gloves are required for particular type of work. They may have different type of resistance to abrasion, cutting, tearing or puncture, and also resistant to additional factors such as chemicals or high temperatures.
Okay, so if I want to battle someone, which norm should I use?
Agnieszka, you should not solve your problems by force. Try talking first. But, to make it easier for you, the TME catalogs specify exactly which standards are met by each of the available products. Just use the filters.
You know what? Once I tried talking, but all I heard was a loud voice. So, now I'm using hearing protectors. Oh. Well, unfortunately, most of us neglect to protect our ears from loud noises, and those can come from operating machinery on the construction sites, sawing wood, cutting grass, or even concerts.
You can find some earplugs with a band or a string, which makes it easier to take them off and put them on, and at the same time makes it difficult to lose them.
Absolutely, and the choice of ear defenders largely depends on your individual preferences. However, regardless whether you choose earplugs or ear defenders, check the attenuation level.
NIOSH and OSHA base their recommendation using time-weighted average, which is 85 dB. In short, it means that for the work period of 8 hours, the average noise level should be 85 dB.
Okay, another recommendation is the 3 dB exchange rate, which means that if the average noise level is raised by 3 dB, the exposure time to that noise should be reduced by half. So, in this case, 4 hours.
Well, at least we agree upon one thing.
Yeah, we should be safe and healthy.
And on this note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you will not escape your exercise, Alex. As you remember, sitting for too long, too often, can have devastating consequences over time. First of all, you should keep a proper posture while sitting, and here are a few examples. Keep your feet flat on the floor at a distance of your hips. Sit straight. Relax your shoulders while typing. Change your position between sitting and standing. Stretch and take regular breaks. And now it's time for some action.
Exercise 1. Your palms touch your chest. Your elbows set wide. Your head positioned straight. Rotate your chest on both sides. Your feet, knees and hips stay still. Repeat 20 times. Exercise 2. Position your feet exactly at your hips line. Lift your hips over your seat and keep it slightly to the back. Remember to keep your knees in line with your toes. Keep this position for 10 seconds, and then get back to your chair. Exercise 3. Move your hips slightly to the edge of your seat. Stretch one leg while keeping the second one bent. Reach with your hands to the stretched one until you feel muscle pain under your knee or at the back of your thigh. Keep this position for 30 seconds. Exercise 4. Move your back away from the back of your seat. Lift your arms with bent elbows to the sides. Your palms facing the ground. Then slowly bring your forearm up. Keep rotating up and down. Your back is straight and still.
If you think that your workplace is just nagging you, remember that there is no place for mistakes in occupational health and safety.
And if there is an outside test, they might close your workplace.
And that's all. Thank you for watching and see you next time.